Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Joining us today. If you guys can hear me, please just chat in the comment section that you can hear me. Just to confirm everybody can hear me. So welcome. So this is the third Masterclass series, the TOE Way Masterclass series, and you guys are welcome. Thank you for constantly joining every week. We really do appreciate it, and we trust that you're getting that learning that you need to start a successful business. So I don't waste time. I'm just going to introduce everyone joining the session today. So we have Adora. Adora is the Entrepreneurship Programs Executive at the Foundation. We also have Fuku Rollins, who will be supporting with the French translations. And then we have our dear Angela Neke joining us again today. She's going to be taking the third series on the TOE way. Before I hand over to Madam Angela, so I will just quickly touch on two things. So the business plan templates, for those asking for the templates, we've sort of put the links in all languages in the description. So just click on the icon where you see the topic TOE Way Masterclass series on YouTube. Just click on that icon below, and then you see the description. You can access all the links to the business plan templates in all the languages. So you can pick or select your preferred language. Also, we have the attendance link. Please ensure to fill in the attendance. You can click on the link now and just fill in your attendance and submit. The link to the survey for attendance will close. We're going to close it once it's 6 p.m. So I'm just telling everyone now, so you don't send emails tomorrow asking for access to the link. So just click on that link now and fill your attendance. So I'll hand over to Madam Angela now to start the session. Welcome, and thank you for, impacting us with this knowledge. So over to you, Madam Angela. Over to you, ma. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibukun. Good to see you again, and good to see everyone virtually. It's always nice to participate in these sessions. I learn from you. It's two-way learning. I learn from your examples, and it just reinforces the sessions. And I thought today I'll just ask you again, what are your thoughts on webinar 2? Recall last time we spoke about human capital and culture, institutionalization and governance, hard work, meetings, being decisive, and being results driven and execution. I think those are the key things we talked about yesterday, last week, Thursday. Last week, Thursday? Yes, it was last week, Thursday. And I thought maybe before we go into today's session, if anyone wanted to share any thoughts, any further thoughts that they had on last time, any reflection, any, maybe just recap with a few of your thoughts, that would be useful. Foko. Foko?
Oui, OK. Bonjour tout le monde et bienvenue à cette troisième session. Donc, aujourd'hui, nous allons continuer avec les traductions et avec les TOEs. Donc, avant ça, beaucoup nous a rappelé que vous devez aller dans la zone de description sur YouTube pour télécharger les canevas de business plan dans toutes les langues. Donc, veuillez choisir la langue française. Okay, over to you, Angela.
Thank you. So Ibuku, please do share what everyone's saying about the last session we had on Thursday.
Okay, that's fine. So a lot of people are still trying to type in. So just to reiterate what Madam Angela said, we need you guys to give us a recap of what you learned last week. A lot of you shared a lot of experiences, how you want to structure your business, the plans you have around, building your team. So please just share those recaps in the comment section, and I will read them out, and I'll also, read out your name as well. So We're waiting to get those comments. So just please start sending the comments in. And we want this session as interactive as possible. I'm very sure all of you enjoyed what we did last week. So we want the same energy today. So please send in your comments. Okay. So I think I have a few already.
Partager vos commentaires.
Go ahead, Foko.
De partager
Go ahead.
vos commentaires, de faire un partage d'expérience que vous avez par rapport à tout ce qu'on a déjà partagé avec vous. Oui, donc de nous dire comment est-ce que vous appliquez tout ce qu'on vous donne comme astuce de Tony dans vos entreprises. Donc, on vous prie, la session est toujours interactive comme d'habitude et veuillez partager vos expériences, nous allons les lire à l'antenne. Over to you.
Thank you, Foko. Okay, so I have a few comments here. So this is from Vincent. Vincent says, as a leader, you have to make decisions. You can source ideas from your team, but at the end, you need to make a decision. So as a leader, decision making is very key. So this was his takeaway from last session. And this is from Simon. Simon says, we also talked about how hard work pays. A hard worker gets things done. He makes an effective decision. He's a result-oriented person. He has a sense of urgency. So that's Simon's takeaway. So this is from Lawal Buka. As an entrepreneur, you need to be a passionate leader with good strategies, set important milestones and celebrate your little wins, and set more milestones until there aren't milestones to be set. So that's from Lawal. Okay, so this is from Ulubenga. Good governance policy is good, but without enforcement, it will bring about failure for your business. And then we have from Onye Dikachi. The two webinars taught me ideas can come from anywhere, anyone. One should involve employees in ideas generation because it gives a sense of belonging and makes them feel they are part of the organization. Then this is from Princely. Discipline, hard work, sacrifice are what makes a successful entrepreneur. So he's saying discipline, hard work, and sacrifice makes you a successful entrepreneur. Then there's another comment from Evans. Institutionalization was an eye-opener for me. Building a legacy to last and a business that goes beyond my generation is key for me. Then we have another one from Samuel. I learned that institutionalization is key. It keeps the culture and ways of life till future time, even if the pioneers aren't alive or available. And then we have another one from Noel. The last series was awesome. I remember how we emphasized on organizational governance and how TOE said whatever skill he lacks, he hires. Then there's another one from Daphne. It's essential to build to last, building a legacy from a firm to an academy. It's funny that since you spoke about this every day, it has been a reminder about building a business to last for me. Prosper says, recently, my interest in listening, reading, and analysis increased because one of the things that spelled out TOE is its ability to pay attention to details and draw intelligent conclusions. And there's another one from Oluwatosi. I have come to imbibe the traits of rewarding competence. When we reward staff, they will be motivated and goals will be achieved with combinations of leadership style in every situation. Then we have the last one from Moses. Human capital. So his recap is on human capital. Entrepreneurs should hire right, hire smart, hire wisely, measure performance, and reward performance. Then the last one from Solomon Okeke. I have learned that as an entrepreneur, you must be open-minded. So these are the comments coming in from the entrepreneurs. Their recap from the last session. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Amazing comments. And you remember I was saying two-way traffic. It's nice to hear that from you guys because it just shows that one is, because I can't see you guys because it's just me looking at the screen, and it's nice to get feedback from you because it makes it all worth it. So thank you all so much for that feedback. very good students. So let me hear from Foko. Foko, anything from the Francophone world?
Yes, of course. Donc, nous avons Benjamin Zoom qui dit, en tant qu'entrepreneur, vous apprenez à être discipliné, travailler beaucoup et intelligemment, apprendre à travailler en équipe et faire une bonne organisation ou planification. Donc, il continue. Et maintenant, nous avons aussi Franck Guini qui dit bonjour, nous sommes pour la plupart dans une phase d'apprentissage et plusieurs n'ont pas encore d'entreprise créée. La manière dont ce programme est mené, c'est comme si les participants sont expérimentés. Okay, we have Benjamin Zoom who is saying that entrepreneurs are still learning and being disciplined make them.
I think we've lost Foko. Foko, can you hear us? Can you hear, or your network is bad?
Yes,
Okay.
I am having network issue.
Okay, so sorry. Okay. So are you done, or do you want to share more comments?
Yes, I want to share one from Samuel Nyambo.
Okay,
La
go ahead.
formation de Tony Elomelu me permet de bien orienter mes idées innovantes au sein de mon entreprise. Elle me permet aussi de bien fixer mes objectifs d'entreprise. Merci. Donc, Samuel Nyambo is saying that Tony Elomelu training helped him to improve his business. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Ibukun and Foko. Thank you so much. Very useful feedback. So we'll go straight into today. So webinar 3, we're going to be learning about precision and rigor. We're going to be learning about follow through and professionalism, foresight, genius savant, resilience, and reverse yourself if you've made the wrong decision. So let me just start by sharing my screen. Give me a minute. Can you see my screen? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, Mo, we can see your screen.
Okay, excellent. Thanks. So moving on, let's start with precision and rigor. So don't forget the approach. So the approach is, I'll share what Thierry has to say about the business value with quotes from him. I'll share what the literature says about the particular business value. I'll share an example, and then there'll be food for thought on the particular business value. So that's the approach. So here's what Thierry has to say about precision and rigor. And he says, rigorously translate your dreams to reality. I think it was Lawal that spoke about milestones. So Thierry says, build milestones into your dream and check your milestones from time to time. As you achieve your milestones, it spurs you on to achieving the next milestone. So celebrate each one, set your milestones and then check them from time to time and encourage yourself when you achieve them. Passion is key. Passion is the key that oils everything we do. If you're passionate, it is infectious. So those are quotes from Thierry. So what does the literature basically say? About precision and rigor. It says precision is the quality or state of being of exactness, of being exact. The rigor is the quality or state of being very exact, careful or strict. Rigor, the quality of being extremely thorough and careful. So we talked about being meticulous last time, but this is slightly different. This is about rigor, subjecting things to, thoroughness, being extremely thorough about something. And the key message on precision in execution from the literature is about setting goals, just like Thierry has said. So set milestones for yourself, set goals, and make sure these goals are specific. As we all know, they have to be SMART: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. And the literature says successful companies or leaders pursue execution as a science with a conscious, systematic, and disciplined rigor. So once we set the milestones, I'm sure you're all, I think Ibukun was talking about the business plan earlier on. And so once you come up with your business plan, you must rigorously pursue your plan. You must rigorously and systematically pursue your plan. So, and we all know, it's all about clarity, it's all about strategy, it's all about implementation, and, get people who will help you and monitor the results. So apply rigor to things that are not tangible, get hard facts, probe root causes, dive deep, investigate, conduct deep analysis. So feedback is important as you set your goals and monitor them. In terms of food for thought, Thierry says he would like Hares Holdings to be an organization that is known for execution, one that makes things happen. Our people understand that a dream will remain a dream unless it is accompanied by action. Consistently, I'm sure every webinar you've heard the same thing from Thierry about, turning your dreams into reality. It's about a dream is only a dream until you convert it. So it's important. It's important that you pursue your dream. Sorry, were you not able to see my presentation before now? I just saw a sign that said everyone can see my presentation. Was it not visible to everyone before?
It was visible.
Okay, all right. Okay. So he says, our people understand that a dream will remain a dream unless it is accompanied by action. So, Foko, do you want to translate that, please? Thank you.
OK, thank you, Angela. Donc, nous venons d'échanger, Angela vient d'échanger sur quelques aspects comme la précision et la rigueur. Donc, Tony recommande en fait de faire ces actions étape par étape et de mettre en place des systèmes de contrôle des différentes étapes. Et que tout le temps, vous devez savoir exactement à quelle étape vous vous trouvez afin de pouvoir évaluer ce que vous faites. Donc, il recommande aussi en disant que la passion est la clé dans tout ce que nous faisons. Il faut toujours être passionné. Il définit la précision comme la qualité d'être exact et la rigueur comme la qualité d'être très exact et strict. Donc, vous devez être strict, rigoureux envers vous-même.
I think we lost Foko for a bit. Foko, can you hear us?
Foko?
Yes, I can continue. Please. OK. En plus, Tony nous dit que nous devons avoir de la rigueur dans l'exécution. Et on doit savoir bâtir une culture d'entreprise performante. Donc, I would like, comme penser pour la route, I would like Hares Holdings to be an organization that is known for execution, one that makes things happen. Donc, il dit, il aimerait que son entreprise Hares Holdings, donc que son groupe soit une organisation reconnue pour la précision dans le passage à l'action et qui permet de faire que les choses arrivent telles qu'il a dit.
Thank you, Foucault. So moving on to the next one, and the next set of business values are follow through and professionalism. And Thierry says, the ability to see things through has always been a challenge for companies. He says, focus on outcomes. So remember, previously we'd said, Thierry said, set milestones for yourself. Now he's saying, focus on outcomes. There's a thin line. He's also saying there's a thin line between delegation and abdication. And we'll talk more about that in webinar 4. So I'll say, if anyone has questions on abdication and delegation, I'd save that to webinar 4. Follow through. Okay, so what does the literature say? The literature says about follow through, it says to press on in an activity or process, especially to a conclusion. So we want to press on, you know, sometimes, and we'll talk about resilience later, but it's important to follow through. And about professionalism, the conduct, aims, or qualities that characterize or mark a profession or professional person. The skill, good judgment, and polite behavior that is expected from a person who is trained to do a job well. And the dictionary says the word execution comes from the Latin term meaning to follow through. Isn't that interesting? So we're focusing on execution as a core value, and we're saying, follow through. Follow through. It's all about following through. So once you've set your milestones, once you've articulated your dream, once you've written down your business plan, follow through. And the term execution originated with the Romans, who were masters in executing plans, tactics, and strategies. Remember, it's about creating your strategy, implementing your strategy, monitoring your strategy. All that's important in execution. And last week we talked about an action plan. And remember, we talked about who does what when. Remember, we talked about that last week in meetings. So it's important to, when you've articulated your vision, your plan, break it down into who does what when. And that's when you can begin to, that's the rigor and that you must subject your plan to. So that's the key message there. In terms of, we all have, so it's not just on your business plan, your network is important. The network you're building as you build your organization, you'll be building a network of clients, a network of suppliers, a network of people that you can leverage to help you articulate, to help you achieve and accomplish your dream, help you translate your dream to reality. So how do you want to, you'll be meeting people. So it's important to follow up with people that you meet. Send a quick mail, link in on LinkedIn, create reconnect files, remember their birthdays, just basically engage the people that you meet, after a follow-up meeting, how to follow up after a network meeting, Google their name, find out about the person, connect on LinkedIn, have a face-to-face meeting, just engage. So that's important in terms of following through. Thierry says, I want to build a database of contacts that we can mine. You must leverage your network. You can't do it alone. You need people, and the people are your staff. You need your clients. You need your suppliers. You need your regulators. You need a whole bunch of people to help you articulate your dream. Foucault, can you interpret? And then let's have some feedback from everyone.
OK, thank you, Angela. Donc, nous venons de partager sur le suivi et le professionnalisme. Donc, Tony recommande d'avoir l'habitude de suivre les choses, comment les choses vont, comment les choses se passent. Il appelle le suivi comme la pression qu'on se met du début jusqu'à la fin de l'obtention des résultats que nous recherchons. Donc, il dit, il doit avoir une...
Hi, Foko.
Okay, sorry. It is good now. Donc, Tony dit, il doit avoir une bonne coordination entre le suivi des actions et l'exécution. Il définit l'exécution comme étant originaire des Romains qui étaient très stricts dans ce qu'ils faisaient. Ils mettaient en place des tactiques et des stratégies pour le fonctionnement de leur entreprise, des business plans, des plans d'action. Surtout, ils mettaient en place un système qui permettait de savoir qui fait quoi et quand. Ça, c'est très important. Donc, concernant les relations humaines et le networking, il propose que pour entretenir votre réseau, vous devez avoir des amis, des entrepreneurs, et ces amis, ces entrepreneurs, vous devez les suivre. Vous devez les suivre, de temps en temps, leur souhaiter un bon anniversaire, de temps en temps, les relancer, les rappeler, les inviter à des dîners. Bref, quand on a des relations, il faut les entretenir. Il faut entretenir ces relations et utiliser cette puissance des relations pour pouvoir s'en servir afin de vous ouvrir certaines portes. Donc, voilà ce que Tony dit globalement. Over to you, Angela.
No, I was saying I wanted examples. So, Ibukun, if I can get some examples from you and or feedback and examples.
Okay.
Of any of the things that we've spoken about.
Okay. So I have a few here. So I have one from Oscar. So Oscar says, TUA teaches precision and rigor. Have made, okay, so this is a bit, okay, so it said, so the teachings on precision and rigor have made me to understand that dreams are to be followed and made to be accomplished exactly, if even possible, beyond expected. And he's also saying, okay, so I think that's all from Oscar. I think he sent the same thing again. Okay, so this is from Abib. The milestones I set for my company this year was to register the business in Q1, and I made sure I achieved it. So he's saying that he set a milestone and he's been able to achieve that milestone. So this is from Kinelli Way. I have challenges with networking. I get to feel that I'm too much if I follow through. Reassuring to learn that it is important to follow through when networking. So she's making conscious effort to work on her networking skills. So this is from Akiloyo Fatai. As an entrepreneur, you must take action on the goal set. You must take a strategic way or method to execute your plan. Your plan must not be on paper. You only have to take action. So there's another one from Etim. I have come to learn over time that taking action with the right knowledge is very important. This year, with a wider knowledge in my business, my actions will be directed rightly. We have another one from Favor. Wealth can only be sustained by the right network of people across all sectors, as no one can achieve success alone, solely on one's effort. So that's from Favor. Okon says a good plan or dream will rhyme as plan or dream without execution. So it's basically saying execution is very key and important when starting a business. Magdalene says following up or checking up on your customer following up or checking up on customers is a good entrepreneur. Nah. We need to resend this from Magdalene. It's not clear. So there's another one from Promise. I've learned that one must engage people. One needs to make his or her business successful. So basically saying that you need to start engaging people that would help, make your business a success. This is from Francis. If you follow up on contacts, you will not be easily forgotten. So keep following up and just, be in their faces. So from Blessing, engage the people you meet. That's from Blessing. Then from Gabriel, precision and rigor is a necessary aspect to better growth and development, because being precise and rigorous ensures things are done appropriately. And then we have one from Beyond the Sky. I guess that's the person's nickname on YouTube. The milestone I set for my business this year is to work on my social media platform. I need to reach more clients. And then from Magdalene, following up or checking up on customers is good. It shows that you care about them and you're not just concerned about their money alone. And this will give them a sense of being welcome. Then the last one from Uzo, I've learned here to not only dream, but to set goals in its precision and to have a roadmap to achieve them swiftly. And then the last one from Emmanuel, a good decision and action plan is the best option to execute to make a successful business. So more comments are coming in, but it's pretty much the same thing I have touched on. So they're just giving their recap. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very useful. Thank you. Foko, do you have anything from anyone?
Yes, I have something. Please. Okay, let me go on, please. Okay, I want to say that I have something from Anne Shop. Anne Shop dit c'est très important d'être Donc, Anne Shop dit c'est très important d'être passionné. Je suis mécanicien depuis ma formation. J'ai appris beaucoup de mes anciens employeurs, surtout la relation entre le client et l'entreprise. We have Ikoyi Bamwazi qui dit la relation des contacts. Les contacts sont très importants dans l'entrepreneuriat. Car nous ne savons jamais où le bonheur peut arriver. Il faut toujours garder et s'entourer de bons contacts. Okay, we also have Agenong Jacques a dit les formations avec le TIF me donnent beaucoup d'autres techniques d'application des méthodes. Elles me permettent d'agrandir mon domaine de réflexion afin de développer plus amplement mon entreprise. Donc, Oumou Sissé dit, moi, c'est Oumou, je suis vraiment heureuse de suivre les sessions. Okay, that is what we can have in French. We also have Geneviève Fossi. Pour développer mes stratégies, je me sers du réseau des pionniers de mon activité pour bénéficier de leurs conseils et de leur expérience pour vendre mes services auprès de mes clients potentiels. Donc, Blandine Chokwa dit, c'est vrai que la dame a dit, c'est que Angela a dit, parce que sans la rigueur, rien ne marche et l'entreprise devient un lieu de désordre. Donc voilà, maintenant, enfin, Boy Dibari. Je voudrais me lancer sur le net en tant qu'homme des médias, mais je ne sais comment faire pour rencontrer les entrepreneurs dans ce domaine. Okay, that is what we can share. Over to you, please.
Okay, but you don't translate them. Do you want to translate them? Because I don't know what you said.
Foko, so if you can, Foko, can you hear me? Foko?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so maybe
Yes,
to make things easy and for Madam Angela to be able to get the feedbacks from the French entrepreneurs, what you can do is the ones you're able to, the comments you're able to get, you can just send it in English to me on WhatsApp. I will now share with her to make it easy. So all you're doing is just doing the proper translation, but the comments, you can just change them, translate to English, and I'll just share them as part of the comments that I'm sharing. So maybe we should do it that way. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So moving on, thank you all for your feedback and your attentive ears for listening. So thank you very much. So next we're going on to foresight and genius of and. And what Theory says is ability to see beyond today is critical for success. Think long-term as entrepreneurs, forego some short-term gains, visualize yourself in the long term. Long-term is series of short-term goals. Remember, Thierry talked about setting milestones, setting goals when we talked about precision and rigor. Now he's saying set long-term. He's defining what long-term is, because sometimes thinking far ahead and planning far ahead is just so difficult for us, So he's saying at the end of the day, long-term is a series of short-term goals. And remember, he said in precision and rigor that celebrate your milestones, set your milestones and then celebrate them to spur you on to the next. So it's all connected. So set a series of short-term goals. That's ultimately your long-term goal. And I believe you're all writing your business plan. So this is very important at this stage. It says think long-term, think milestones. As you achieve milestones, it spurs you on to achieving the next milestone. So that is a key message, and I think it's very important at this time. So in terms of foresight, these are some quotes from Thierry that I think are very, very inspiring. It says, as a child, as a student, as a young professional, and now as an entrepreneur, Africa has always been the center of my dreams, my aspirations, and my prayers. Thierry made this statement in 2010. And, the entrepreneurship program didn't come into play till 2015. So he's saying, as a child, as a student, as a young professional, and now as an entrepreneur, Africa has always been the center of my dreams, my aspirations, and my prayers. And so it's being actualized. His dreams are being actualized. He says in Standard Trust, I think he made this statement, sometime in Standard Trust, he made this statement, says, we are going to write a generational statement. As today, we may appear young and the people may not believe in us. So remember, he was a young CEO, he became CEO at 34. It says, we're going to write a generational statement. Today, we may appear young and the people may not believe in us. We're going to compel them to believe in us through our achievement. And so that's what I'm repeating this Thierry quote to you as you're all starting your business. At the end of the day, you're going to compel people to believe in you from your achievements. As you achieve those milestones you set for yourselves, people are going to believe in you. I think it was in Ibukun, when was that Google announcement, that partnership with TEF? Was it 2 months ago or so?
It was last year. It was last year, November. Yes.
Okay. I sat and I listened to entrepreneurs that got their grant, 5 years ago. I was listening to them and I was just amazed. There was a lady whose turnover was like 100 million, which is like, how much is that in dollars? 100 million naira. Somebody do the math for me. But, just amazed about how they had grown, from an idea to such huge turnover. And they were telling us, and it's so inspiring. I think the CNN lady that was anchoring the event, she said, oh, she's going to think about her long-term plans. Because it was also inspiring that you would want to say, oh, okay, I'm going to go set up my own business and pursue this idea. So Thierry was saying when they turned around Crystal Bank, he was saying they will believe in us because of our achievements. And I think that's so inspiring. In 1998, now this demonstrates foresight. Thierry has the gift of foresight. He says in 1998, he said, it is our belief that in 5 years' time, the industry will begin to consolidate and large foreign institutions will start taking steps towards penetrating the Nigerian market. Our objective is to ensure that we build an institution that can play a leading role in that consolidation process. TOE made this statement at the Money Market Association in 1998. You need to know that the consolidation in Nigeria began to take place in 2005. So he made this statement 7 years before the consolidation actually took place. He predicted it. So he had foresight about it. And this is a statement we all know, we've all heard of Michael Porter, the renowned strategy professor at Harvard. So Thierry was his student, obviously, at the AMP at Harvard, just when the merger took place, or was it before the merger? I can't remember. And Michael Porter was also the founding patron for the Tony Elumelu Foundation. This is what he had to say. And he wrote this in 2010. This is what he had to say. So 6 years after Thierry made this statement to him, he wrote this. He says, in 2004, Tony and I talked about the creation of a competitiveness institute in Africa to develop young African business leaders. The Tony Elumelu Foundation, with a focus on building business leadership in Africa, has made this vision a reality. So this whole entrepreneurship thing, Thierry made this statement to him in 2004. And, you know, the entrepreneurship program again didn't start till 2015, and TEF was set up in 2010. So what does the literature say about foresight? And it's what the literature says is the ability to predict what will happen or be needed in the future. It's the ability to predict or plan for the future, often termed vision, you know. So it's about seeing ahead, knowing in advance, knowing things before, having foresight, you know. So that's on foresight. On the genius of and, Thierry says, I'm sure you've all read the book by, what's his name? I have a book here. So it's Built to Last by, can you see it? I guess you can't see it, but it's Built to Last by Successful Habits of Visionary Companies by James Collins. So in the book, he talks about the genius of and the tyranny of awe. And what Thierry is saying here is, the quote from Thierry is saying, in the world we live in, we are faced with choices, A or B. In businesses, we are constantly faced with strategic choices. Success in business is the ability to make the right decision. I believe you can make the best of two opposing situations. For instance, the world over, you are told you cannot merge and grow. So two choices. So, you know, the world says merge or grow. You can't merge and grow. And he says, we had a double strike approach after the merger in 2005. We did the merger and started to grow at the same time. We did two things that were supposed to be opposing at the same time. So the whole idea, you know, so UBA and STB merged. The merged entity began the Africa expansion. You know, STB had opened a branch in Ghana, and that just continued. And United Bank for Africa was fulfilling its name and its purpose. So many branches of UBA, so many subsidiaries of UBA were set up across Africa, you know, in the UK, you know, just spread to the rest of the world. You know, it had a 3-tier strategic intent. So the consultants had said, you can't merge and grow. But Thierry said, it's about the genius of and, not the tyranny of or, you know, citing the James Collins book. on Built to Last. So it's not about either or. So as you write your business plan, as you consider strategic choices, recognize that it is not either or. It doesn't have to be either or. It could be a genius of and. Okay? And so I talk about the James Collins book, as the literature says. So he's saying, James Collins says, embrace the genius of and basically he's saying companies that are visionary, you know, the whole Built to Last book, you should read it, by the way. So remember, one of the TOE ways is reading 2 books a month. So you should read this book if you haven't read it. And it talks about, it studies visionary companies, and he's saying visionary companies have embraced the genius of and. So visionary companies embrace both ends of the continuum, continuity and change, conservatism and progressiveness, stability and revolution, predictability and chaos, heritage and renewal, fundamentals and craziness, and he's saying it's about the genius of and, you know. So recognize that as you do your business plan. And food for thought, this isn't from TOE, but this is a food for thought. A person who sees a problem is a human being. A person who finds a solution is visionary. And the person who goes out and does something about it is an entrepreneur. I thought that you guys would like that. So more from TOE in terms of food for thought: creation of more jobs, transition from a one-man business to an iconic national institution, to a regional player, then to a global institution, creating an exit option or mechanism for investors, ability to make returns, pay dividends to early investors, all define success as an entrepreneur in the African context. It is the genius of and, not the tyranny of all. So if, for instance, you were to set milestones for yourself, you could say, milestone 1, you're a one-man business. The first milestone is you want to be an iconic national institution, maybe. Then second milestone, I want to be a regional player. Then you want to be a global institution. But you can, you know, even break that down further into smaller milestones. Sorry. So this is a picture of TOE. You can see him at the bottom with the mic. This was in 1998 at the Money Market Association of Nigeria. And this is when he made that prediction about the consolidation of the banking industry. And like I said, the banking industry began to consolidate in 2005. So does anyone recognize TOE here? This is TOE in 1998. This is TOE here. So, Foko, interpret, please.
Okay, thank you, Angela. Thank you very much. Donc, dans les choses qui vont suivre, nous allons maintenant échanger sur les prévisions et le génie du et. Et, ça veut dire avec. Donc, qu'est-ce que tu nous dis? Tu nous dis l'habilité à voir le futur aujourd'hui est critique pour le succès. Donc, ça veut dire que en date d'aujourd'hui, en tant qu'entrepreneur, vous devez être capable de prévoir ce qui va se passer à l'avenir à votre façon. Il dit, penser long terme en tant qu'entrepreneur permet de ne pas souffrir des turpitudes du court terme. Vous devez donc vous encourager à voir plus les choses en termes d'une pensée sur le long terme. À titre de rappel, c'est vraiment un résumé que je fais. Je ne lis pas d'action sur le court terme. Par conséquent, vous devez d'abord penser au long terme avant de faire succéder les actions sur le court terme. Et lorsqu'on parle de long terme, vous devez définir les différentes étapes de ce que vous avez à faire. C'est ça qui permet de vous guider. Donc, deuxième chose, il dit, en tant qu'enfant, en tant qu'étudiant, en tant que jeune professionnel, il était sûr qu'il devait être un entrepreneur qui devait faire bouger l'Afrique. Et penser à l'Afrique était toujours au centre de ses rêves, de ses aspirations et de ses prières. Il se disait, nous devons bâtir une nouvelle génération d'entrepreneurs qui seront plus tard des hommes qui peuvent faire que les autres croient en eux. Donc, c'est important que vous ameniez les autres à croire en vous. Et ainsi, ça vous encourage à pouvoir atteindre vos objectifs. Donc, en d'autres lieux, il partage son expérience avec Michael Porter. Michael Porter, c'est un grand auteur dans le livre en gestion, en management. Michael Porter qui dit qu'il reconnaît Anthony un jeune ambitieux parce que depuis 2004, Tony lui avait parlé de son projet, qui est le projet que nous vivons aujourd'hui. Tony lui avait parlé de faire un projet qui devait être compétitif et leader en Afrique en termes de formation de jeunes entrepreneurs, en termes de construction d'entrepreneurs pour le demain. Donc, c'est une façon de vous dire que le programme que nous suivons aujourd'hui est un programme qui a été pensé par Tony. Souvenez-vous bien, depuis 2004. Et ce n'est qu'en 2010 qu'il a implémenté son programme en créant la fondation. Et c'est en 2015 que la fondation a commencé les activités. Donc, il définit maintenant l'habilité à faire des prévisions. Non, il définit les prévisions comme l'habilité à prédire l'avenir et de faire que les choses arrivent comme vous voulez dans le futur. Donc, vous devez être un leader proactif, quelqu'un qui réussit à transformer ses pensées en action afin que les autres puissent y adhérer. Donc, en d'autres lieux, il parle du génie du et. Tony insiste sur une chose. Entre le et le ou, choisissez toujours le et. Il dit, choisissez le génie qu'il y a dans le et vraiment n'adoptez pas trop la tyrannie qu'il y a dans le ou. Le ou n'est pas intéressant. Il prend l'exemple de la fusion entre les deux banques, Standard Bank et UBA. Il dit, ils ont fusionné ils ont fusionné et en même temps, ils ont procédé à la croissance de l'entreprise. Donc, ça veut dire qu'il n'y a pas eu un temps pour fusionner en termes de décision. Il dit, vous devez être pragmatique lorsqu'il y a des choix à faire. Il dit, ici, ils ont choisi de fusionner et de croître. Donc, les deux ont été faits en même temps. C'est ce qu'il appelle la magie du et. Et il nous parle du livre qui s'appelle justement Embrasser la magie du et de James Collins. Donc, James Collins, dans son livre, parle de comment est-ce que les visionnaires réfléchissent. Il explique comment est-ce qu'on peut construire une entreprise jusqu'à la réussite. Et il prend quelques cas d'entreprises exceptionnelles qui avaient à l'aide des visionnaires et qui ont réussi dans le monde. Il dit qu'il faut embrasser le génie du et, avec des passages que je ne vais pas forcément lire. Et finalement, dans la pensée, dans la façon de réfléchir, il dit une personne qui voit un problème est un être humain. Une personne qui cherche des solutions est un visionnaire. Et une personne qui une personne qui est en même temps, qui voit les problèmes et qui apporte une solution, c'est un entrepreneur. Donc, ça veut dire que vous avez choisi les deux. En même temps, vous avez vu les problèmes et en même temps, vous y avez apporté des solutions. Donc, je vais m'arrêter là en ne prétendant pas d'avoir tout expliqué. Over to you, Angela. Donc, bien évidemment, faites vos retours dans le groupe, dans YouTube. Comme ça, je vais les partager. OK. Over to you, Angela.
Thank you so much, Foucault. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really, really appreciate some feedback from you on this one, because I think this is very, very, very important in terms of you're doing your business plan. So let's hear from everyone how you're going to apply it. If you've already applied this sort of principle, how you pursuing it. I remember, and just to help you, once I was asked when I started teaching the TOE, someone asked me, okay, so how do you learn foresight? Because foresight is a gift. But if you remember, one of the things that TOE said, either in webinar 1 or webinar 2, I can't remember where that quote is, but basically what he was saying is I think it was under ideation. He says, find out what is going on in the rest of the world, and it will ultimately happen in your industry. So the bottom line is, because remember, foresight is about thinking ahead, knowing ahead of time. So if it's already happening in the rest of the world, you can actually predict that it will happen in your own local market. And this is exact, so you can begin to take advantage. So you may not have the gift of foresight, but you can actually sort of practice the elements of it by finding out what's happening in the rest of the world. Maybe Foko wants to interpret that while we're waiting for comments. Foko, do you want to interpret that quickly? I see Ibukun has some comments, but maybe, or Ibukun, should I take your
No,
comments?
Angela, I have listened to you. Please just continue.
Okay, go ahead. So Ibukun, go ahead, please.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I'll just take a few comments that I've gotten. So Roland says entrepreneurs build for the long run and are not distracted by short-term challenges or issues. Funny Pascal says the person who sees a problem is a human being. A person who finds a solution is a visionary. A person who resolves any goes out to solve. It's an entrepreneur. This person's comment is not clear, but Funny Pascal, if you can please resend.
What Ibuku, what he did is the person just recoded what I.
Okay,
Yeah.
what you shared earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's from the literature.
Okay, so,
that's from
yeah. Okay, so this is from Gabriel. Theory reminds me of determination. And this is a primary ingredient to pursuing what only you can see and everyone around you sees or says otherwise. So it's saying that determination allows you to see, great things different from what every other person can see. Growth eccentric says setting a 10-year SMART goal has helped me in modifying my company's trajectory as I broke down the plan on year to year, month to month, and week to week basis. So basically set up a SMART goal plan for himself or for the business. Silas says my vision.
Well done. Who was that? Who is that?
That's so it's just is I think his business name, Growth Eccentric.
Okay.
So his actual name is not here. Yeah,
Growth Eccentric. Well done. It's a 10-year plan. And he's setting annual goals. Well done. Yes. Okay, go on.
So this is from Silas. My vision is for long-term purpose. This has helped me to be able to overcome some momentarily challenges in my business and to be consistent until I get there. So he's saying that, the vision for the business is also a long-term purpose, and that has helped him overcome a lot of challenges in the business. This is from Damilola. Anybody can identify the problem. A visionary can find solutions, but an entrepreneur will take action and get things done. Having ideas is not enough. Entrepreneurs should be action takers. Thank you, TOE. So that's from Oni Damilola. So we have another one from Messi Ungozi Okoli. The gift of foresight helps me as an entrepreneur to set long-term goals, knowing that my success goes beyond what I'm able to immediately achieve, but it's a build-up of series of small achievements. So that's from Messi Ungozi. So we have from God's Will, an entrepreneur is a person who sees an opportunity and goes after it. This to me means taking proactive approach. Is always a great tool for success. Wow, that's from God's Will. Then we have from Uzo. We currently have 2 branches. Subsequently, long-term, over the next 5 years, we're currently working towards setting up a shop in 3 other key states. Thanks to TOE, we almost have the how all figured out. So this person is saying that based on the learnings from the series, they've been able to come up with a long-term goal, and they're already setting up their shops or making plans to set up shops in 3 other states in Nigeria. So from Prosper says learning precision and rigor has taught me to keep pushing on whatever milestones I've laid for my business. From Frederick, thinking long-term goals is what we need to reach our vision, because many times short goals can lead to ruins. We have to foresee far. That's from Frederick. Benedict says theory is just too much. Only achievement can compel belief and acceptance. No matter how much we pontificate, only achievement can crown us as heroes. The taste of pudding is in the eating. That's from Benedict. Then we have Mosumola. Having a positive mindset, foresight in bracket, helps to drive one's business for a very long time and make one withstand every odds that comes alongside in growing and developing one's business. Uzo says, seeing beyond today has helped me in keeping my business going. Even at this initial stage, it seems not to be yielding enough results in terms of income, but strategic decision today is key. So she's saying that she's looking beyond what she's doing now, and even though she's not making the income or the sort of income she wants, she's still trying to put in place strategic decisions to move her business to the next level. So from James Solomon, locating a problem makes one human, finding a solution makes one visionary, but doing something about the solution makes one an entrepreneur. I had to resign from a paid job to seek solutions. So that's from James. Emeka says, foresight helps to build resilience that will sustain accomplishments and scaling up. Emmanuel says, I will apply all these fantastic and impactful ideas through learning from the successful entrepreneurs, paying the price, and always think that short-term gains lead to long-term pain and vice versa. From Mojid, everything we have learned goes down to being actionable, determined, and dogged. It is only actions that transforms small businesses into multinationals. So that's from Mojid. West Africa EduLink says, my vision is for a long-term purpose, and I have used various ways to explain here which are true. My business will not only solve a problem, but create solutions to basic environment and sustainable. This person didn't complete. So basically, his plan is to make the business solve not only problems, but also create lasting solutions. Bernard says, I hold a dream to become a successful agripreneur. I understand in this webinar that I do not need to provide the solutions to agripreneur problems, but also go round to act accordingly. Anita says, long-term goals has always given me a reason to work harder and achieve better. It's the foresight that has put me ahead of my competitors. So that's Anita Umbong. So there's another one here from Agile Structures. I always feel guilty if I don't achieve my goals at a stipulated time due to lack of resources. How can I handle this? So this person is asking a question, basically. Then the last person is Mama. Determination and good business strategies kept my little business going. This made me understand having no support partners or sponsors is a great challenge to an entrepreneur. And then the last one from Moses, setting a 5-year financial plan for my business helps me focus and stick to my goals at ESMO integrated service. So that's all we have for.
Thank you, Ibuku. To speak to the lady who's very, very good feedback, very, very good feedback. To speak to the lady who had a challenge, meeting her milestone due to lack of resources, I think it's important to just understand what the lack of resources, what the reason for the lack of resources is. So are we talking financial resources? Are we talking people resources? Are we talking, structural machines and stuff like that? And also, how realistic were you with about your milestones? So these milestones that you set for yourself, for instance, there were financial milestones that you were not meeting, were you realistic about the revenue you would have achieved by that time? And therefore, so don't be discouraged. Try and make sure your milestones are realistic. Try and size up exactly what it is you need. and put in systems to enable you get those resources. At the end of the day, I can tell you, you implement this theory way in your business, I'm sure if you rigorously pursue your business plan, you will translate your dream to reality. Okay, so just go over, find out the root cause, deep dive, and look at realistically what your milestones should be and how you can address them. Okay. All right, moving on to the next one, and the last couple of ones for today: resilience and
yes, Angela, I have something for francophone.
Okay, have you passed them on to Ibukun? Because we can take them at the end, so that I'll just move on.
Okay, I'm going to. Then
Okay.
you can go.
Okay, so resilience and reverse yourself if you have made the wrong decision. So Thierry says, staying the course, staying power in the face of difficulty, underpinned by strategic vision, long-term vision. So that's what resilience is to Thierry. Staying the course, staying power in the face of difficulty, underpinned by strategic vision, long-term vision. You have to be disciplined. Thierry is saying you have to be disciplined, you have to be resilient, be long-term in your orientation. Again, he's speaking about being long-term, So what does the literature say? The literature says, in terms of what resilience is, it's the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. So the lady who asked about, made a comment about not meeting her milestones. It's about recovering quickly from those difficulties. It's about toughness. It's about resilience. And you see this in sports. You see this a lot in sports, where there's a setback, and you think they're going to lose, your team is going to lose, but they quickly come back, and it's all mental toughness. Resilience is the ability of a system to cope with change. This is all about what the literature says. Resilience is all about being able to overcome the unexpected. Sustainability is about survival. The goal of resilience is to thrive. So we're seeing words like toughness, words like being like thriving, and it's all about hard work, the ability to bounce back. We have to be able to bounce back, from a difficulty, from a setback, and then on reversing yourself if you've made the wrong decision, which is the second business value in this section, Thierry says, it takes courage and humility for a business leader to realize he has made a decision that is wrong. If you need to make apologies to stakeholders, apologize and redeem yourself. He says, I think there is strength in leaders who have the discipline to first realize that they've made a mistake, and having realized the mistake, make the decision to correct it. It takes a lot of strength and character. So, again, like I said, it's all about mental toughness, being flexible, responsiveness, strength, courage, and ethics, and resiliency. And Thierry says, in terms of food for thought, remember I said it's just about long-term. He's been speaking about in this group of business values. He says, entrepreneurship is a long-term journey. Dare to dream, implement your dream, and stay focused. Thank you. So on that note, let's have some examples. Let's have some feedback and some examples.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Angela. Thank you for such an exciting and insightful session. So please send in your comments. Let's make this last slide very interactive. So just send in your comments while we hand over to Foco to translate to French. And then I'll come back to take the comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibukun. Oh, sorry.
Hello, okay. Thank you, Ibukun. Let me just translate what have been shared right now. Ok, donc, tout à l'heure, on voyait la résilience. Donc, on parlait de résilience. Il y a eu quelques définitions du dictionnaire. Je ne vais pas tous les lire. On définit la résilience comme étant la capacité à vite se rétablir face à un choc. Ça, c'est très important. C'est-à-dire, vous menez des activités, mais il y a des aléas, il y a des chocs. Vous devez être résilient. Angela a pris l'exemple dans le football. Vous voyez que dans le football, lorsqu'on part jouer, on a toute la verve qu'il faut, on a envie de gagner. Mais lorsqu'on perd, au prochain match, on est encore là. Lorsqu'on perd, ce n'est pas la fin du monde. Au prochain match, on vient encore tout requinquer et on a toujours espoir de gagner. C'est ça la résilience. Donc, on dit aussi la résilience est la capacité à s'adapter face à des situations, face au changement. C'est la capacité à pouvoir rapidement s'adapter. Donc, Tony dit aussi, l'entrepreneuriat n'est pas fait pour tout le monde et tout le monde n'est pas fait pour l'entrepreneuriat. Lorsque vous sentez que vous avez pris une mauvaise décision, c'est important de rapidement retourner et de rapidement rentrer. Ça ne sert à rien d'insister quand vous sentez que vous avez pris une mauvaise décision. Donc, Tony dit, entre autres, que vous devez... Attendez que je retrouve ça. OK, la résilience peut s'analyser comme la flexibilité, comme la responsabilité, comme la force, le courage, l'éthique. Donc, c'est ça la résilience. Quand vous avez des capacités à être flexible dans votre activité, ça, c'est de la résilience. Quand vous êtes responsable de vos gestes, vous vous engagez et vous êtes fier de ce que vous faites, quelles que soient les conséquences, vous les assumez. Ça, c'est ce qu'on appelle la résilience, la responsabilité. La force, vous devez être suffisamment courageux et engagé pour pouvoir résister lorsque vous avez des chocs. C'est ça qui vous permet d'être résilient. Bien évidemment, le courage, c'est la même chose, pouvoir affronter les difficultés qu'on a au sein de son entreprise. Donc, comme pensée que Tony partage, il dit l'entrepreneuriat, c'est un parcours de long terme. Vous devez rêver et implémenter votre rêve en restant concentré sur votre rêve. Donc là, partagez vos commentaires, puis on va les lire. OK, over to you, Ibukun.
Thank you, Foko.
Okay, so I'll just go through a few comments that I have received from our entrepreneurs. So we have one from a query. Resilience plus sustainability will give you an edge when faced with tough decision to accept, acknowledge, and make necessary corrections to long-term goals. Then Shegun says, I see resilience as the ability to be adaptive to uncertainty. And as an African entrepreneur, you must be resilient because things are unpredictable and uncertain. From Courage, men of ideas rule the world. Entrepreneurs are idea innovators. This is why we rule the world, African entrepreneurs. Then we have a comment here from Obi. Please, okay, so this is a question. Please, Ma, what is the major cause of business failure after some years of operation? So I think this is between 1 to 5 years. 1 to 3, 4, 5 years. I think that's where the core challenges are. A lot of entrepreneurs struggle to sustain those businesses. So that is Obi's question. Then Max Ken says, with this session, I am getting more and more realistic with setting my goals, which is part of what you addressed earlier in answering the question. Then we have another one from Chukubundum. As a business leader, you have to own up to everything. Honesty and integrity is an unapologetic trait of a business leader. And then we have a comment here from Mavina. Resilience has kept my business going despite all obstacles since COVID-19. And then we have a comment here from Jonathan as well. Thanks to TOE Way, I have set my long-term goals to owning a leading vegetable production and processing company in Rwanda in 10 years to come. So that's from Jonathan. We have another comment from Miracle. Entrepreneurship is not a sprint, but a marathon that needs endurance, courage, and perseverance. As just taught today, I am grateful. Thank you, Madam Angela. And then we have another comment from Peter. TOE mentioned that we should not be a generation that complains a lot. Being resilient, having a long-term view and implementation is very important to stay in course and not complain. Then there's another one here from Kingsley. For years now, I have been trying on how to bring my dream to reality. Because of my foresight and resilience, I have begun to make a step towards my dream. At least I have put something down. So he has started the process of setting down his long-term goals. Sammy says, I always have the strength to bounce back. When I make a mistake, I research, ask questions, syndicate views from other people. Creating a company's vision is not as easy, but I can't give up now. Then we have another one from Samuel. As an agripreneur, I have learned how to be resilient. Sometimes, or rather most times, when yields are below expectation, it gets really frustrating, but this virtue keeps me going. Then we have from Ngoli, staying power in the face of difficulty resonates with my reality because the business idea I'm pursuing right now was conceived in 2007. It is now becoming a reality. Then we have another comment from Glory. This reminds me of the SWOT analysis. Entrepreneurs must be strong enough to pilot their businesses through tough times and be focused to resolve it. Then we have another comment from Williams. This is a reformed school of thought. That's the TOE, and it is its size is endless. A class like no other. I say big thanks to TOE. Then we have another comment from Abbat. What kind of advice would you give someone doing so many things and not focused on one, or at a business early stage of growth? Is it advisable to try other businesses by the side? So this person basically is saying, if I have a business and I have a business and it's not growing, is it advisable to pivot into something else, maybe research some other business and just move into that? And then Chibuzo is saying, discipline and resilience are important features of an entrepreneur. When entrepreneurs adopt these features, they grow. Another comment from Joshua, it takes courage and humility for an entrepreneur to accept his mistakes, work on it, and improve on it. An entrepreneur never quits. I have been holding TOE by the shirt of his words, and I only get better. Then the last one from Sympathy. The ability to realize mistakes and make an apology helps me gain trust from my customers, and their feedback was greatly appreciated and encouraged me to push after a terrible batch of stock had been. So she didn't finish up her comment. So basically, the ability to realize her mistakes and work on it, improve on it, helped her when she had some challenges around her business. So that's all we have for now. Thank you guys for sending in your comments. If you have more comments, please share, and questions as well. Thank you. Over to you, Madam Angela.
Thank you so much, Ibikun. Thank you so much. I just like the interpretations, the applications to their businesses, the learnings, and obviously the nuggets they're all taking out from this webinar is very reassuring and heartwarming. So to answer the lady on why the businesses fail, I'm sure you can Google it, and I think the responses, if you Google it, what the literature says, is pretty much consistent, and it's pretty much what this whole program is designed to achieve, to try to address, which is why the Tony Elumelu Foundation is not just looking to provide capital, but to provide the capacity building that you all need to be able to succeed. So they've looked at things that make businesses fail, and hopefully with this program they're able to put in place, so showing you what is important. And so, you know, you've heard it said it's about money, not having enough money, running out of money, whatever, but you know, just a lack of money, you know, at the start, you know, because you don't sort of project your revenues, you know, you haven't been realistic about your business plan, you haven't been realistic, you know, about how much money you're going to get in. So, you know, you run out of money, okay, so maybe you thought, you know, the initial capital you had would be enough for the first year, but you know, or the first 2 years, and you find that maybe you only had it for the first 6 months. So maybe you are unrealistic about your financials, you know what I mean, and your, you know, your revenues or your costs, you know, so you were realistic, so that your capital, the money that you need, was insufficient. I think there's also, someone talked about resources earlier and saying when, you know, they didn't meet their milestone because of resources, a lack of resources. So, you know, so we've talked about financial resources. There's also people, you know, not having the people to accomplish, you know, to help you actualize that dream. You know, you can't do it alone. Thierry has told us, you know, you need co-travelers. So do you have the co-travelers either in your management team? Do you have the right structure? Do you have the right people, you know, to help you run with the vision? You know, the good book says, you know, write the vision down that they may run that read it. So you need some, you know, people to run with your vision. You can't do it alone. So having the right people, you know, the marketing, the whole idea at the beginning, you know, nobody knows you. So you have to have a marketing plan in place and have people, you know, implement that plan and, you know, be out there. You know, we talked about building your network, you know, engaging, you know, the people that you meet so that you build your network. But you need to be targeting these, you know, your target market, sorry to use the word twice. You need to be bombarding them with the marketing plan that you have. You need to be executing. You need to have a plan and you need to execute your marketing plan. And I think those would be the top, and obviously having the operating systems that you need to run. But those would be the key areas. And it's consistent. You check all the literature, it says that. It says, you know, entrepreneurs fail in the first, 50% of entrepreneurs fail in the first 5 years. You know, so you have all this data, but basically it's around that. So it's around people, it's around marketing, it's around your business plan, it's around your financials, your money. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed the session. I had some takeaways as well. So thank you guys for joining. Before we end the session, I will just speak to a few things. We've been receiving a lot of complaints and inquiries via the inquiries email box around people not being able to access the training modules on TF Connect. So what we realized is a lot of people did not read or go through the manual, the training guide that we shared, because the training guide basically gives you an overview of how to navigate the TF Connect platform. Pretty easy. So when you go to your profile, you click on TF training, and then you pick on the selected customized training for this year. So there's a general training, which is available to all users, and there's a customized training for people who have been shortlisted to be a part of the program. Once you click on that training, then you can, you know, either choose to go through the course overview or just go straight into the modules, take your modules. You have two options. You either watch the video or you take the actual text, which is in slides. Whichever one you select, once you're done, just click on next. So there's an icon button that takes you to the next page. So a lot of people are going to the dashboard on the right and picking the different modules. You can't, it's a flow. So whatever option you select, if it's a video or the text, you now need to click on next to move to the next section. So please do that. And if you are still having difficulties, kindly reach out to us via inquiries at the Tony Edmulu Foundation.org, and we're happy to get on a Teams call with you, video call, and just walk you through that process so you don't waste time, because the training ends in a week and 4 days, I think. So the training ends on the 6th on the 3rd of June, which is a Friday, but we're going to maybe give you guys till Sunday to round up all your assessments and make sure you complete the training program. So that being said, we've also shared the business plan template, so you can start developing your business plan, all the learnings from the TOE way, you know, how to set realistic timelines, all the learnings from how to develop a compelling business plan, the master classes, all the things you've learned from financial reporting. Please just put it into a cohesive document which forms your business plan. So everything around your operations, your team, your milestones, financials, what problems you're solving, and what solutions, who your unique market or unique target market is. Put all of that into that document, and this forms your business plan. We will communicate to everyone once the training program ends. We'll let you know when you can start submitting your business plan. But for now, you can just start developing and putting everything together. So also we have shared the attendance link. Kindly click on that link now and fill the survey questions. Just provide us with your name, country, valid phone number, and and then submit so we can receive it. We were going to close that survey at 6 p.m. today, and we will not open it up after 6 p.m. So please kindly do that. I think that we've been able to address the major complaints and inquiries we've been getting via inquiries. So thank you for joining us again, and I'm super glad that everybody learned one or two from the comments. It shows that you guys were paying attention and you were taking down notes. I'm super happy. And please just, take all of these learnings, put it into, starting your business, your ideas, setting up your business, or for those that even have existing businesses, growing your business and scaling. And, I'm very sure, I'm very, very positive that you guys will do well and your businesses will be successful. Thank you again, Madam Angela, for an amazing session. And we'll see you next week, Tuesday, for the final TOE Series 4. And I'm sure that one will be very exciting. Very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to that session as well.
Yes. Please, Ibukun, I should also update some Francophone, please.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. Go ahead, Foko. Thank you.
Okay,
Over to you, Foko.
Oui, nous venons, Ibukun vient de partager certaines informations dont vous avez besoin. Elle dit qu'elle reçoit beaucoup de plaintes des personnes qui n'arrivent pas à faire le quiz ou à avancer dans le programme. C'est vrai qu'elle a expliqué la procédure à suivre, mais ce que moi je recommande souvent, et ça marche, vous devez être dans des groupes. Et quand vous avez un souci, posez votre souci dans le groupe, soit Telegram, soit WhatsApp. Un autre entrepreneur qui a eu le même problème va vous aider. Ça marche à 100%. Donc, soyez dans des groupes, posez vos problèmes dans les groupes, les autres vont vous aider. Elle a expliqué la procédure, mais c'était très long et c'est en anglais. Donc, moi-même, je n'ai pas retenu cette procédure, mais si vous êtes dans un groupe, posez la question, on va vous répondre. Donc, pour ce qui concerne la fiche de présence a été mise en ligne dans l'endroit de description, dans la zone de description de YouTube. Allez-y, remplissez. Elle dit la fiche de présence est ouverte jusqu'à 18h. Après 18h, ceux qui vont venir après 18h ne vont plus trouver la fiche de présence en ligne. Et ceux qui sont là maintenant et qui ont suivi, vous avez 2 heures de temps pour remplir la fiche de présence en mettant vos informations. Et pour finir, le canevas de business plan, les canevas de business plan ont aussi été partagés dans la description de YouTube. Donc, cliquez là-bas et prenez le canevas qui correspond à votre langue. Donc, je ne vais pas être plus long. Merci pour avoir participé à cette énième session et rendez-vous à la prochaine session. On va te voir beaucoup.
Thank you. Over to you, Madam Angela. You wanted to say something before, Foko?
Not at all. I was saying bye to the entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, and see you guys next week, Tuesday, by God's grace.